Welcome back. The Coordinating Ministry for Maritime Affairs and the Ministry of Marine and Fisheries launched a labor-intensive coral reef restoration program in Bali. This program is carried out as economic recovery strategy for communities in coastal areas. To restore the national economy, especially in the coastal areas of Indonesia, the Ministry of Marine and Fisheries and the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Investment launched a labor-intensive coral reef restoration program. This program was started in the province of Bali in 5 regions, namely Buleleng, Nusa Dua, Serangan, Sanur, and Pandawa. The area of coral reef restoration in these 5 areas of 50 hectares, with funds used as much as 111.2 billion rupiah, taken from the National Recovery Fund Marine and Fisheries Ministry. Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries Edi Prabowo said that repairing coral reefs will create a better marine ecosystem. Natural resources in the form of fish will increase with improved coral reef, making it profitable for fishermen and will also attract tourists to come.
Coral reef atau kebun karang ini bukan saja akan menjadi atraksi wisata bawah laut, tetapi dapat sebagai sarana edukasi, penelitian, ataupun kegiatan riset lainnya. Program ini juga diharapkan menjadi daya ungkit terhadap pemulihan ekonomi masyarakat pesisir karena dikemas melalui konsep padat karya yang memberdayakan masyarakat pesisir di Provinsi Bali yang terdampak pandemi COVID-19.
It is hoped that coral reefs will not only be a location for fish food needs, but are also expected to be a means for tourism education and underwater research. If all goes according to strategy, there will be 11,300 labor absorption from this program. Jakarta, Muhammad Olga, IDX Channel. Yeah, sometimes work can be so hectic and you just have to take a deep breath and get out into the deep blue ocean, right? Well, if ocean is in your mind, then Indonesia has the answer. Forming one corner of the Coral Triangle, Indonesia is epicenter of world marine biodiversity. One interesting fact is that Indonesia is also containing 20% of the world's coral reefs. Very cool, right? See that a potential government is now developing Indonesia Coral Reef Garden Program, starting in Bali. Well, in short, it's about restoring coral reefs in Bali area. Therefore, to get deeper view, let's see what are the purpose behind the coral reef garden development. These are the basic reasons of the program. First one is for the tourism. Local economies receive income from visitors to reef regions, diving tours, recreational fishing trips, hotels, restaurants, other businesses based near reef ecosystem. And of course, for the fisheries sector, the fish that grow and live on coral reefs are a significant food source for over 1 billion people. For education, research and development of marine environment. And the government step is very much needed because coral reefs in Indonesia need more spotlight. There are over 3,000 fish species and 600 coral species to discover, where the dive sites come in diverse types from coral, steep walls, deep water, trenches, wrecks, and underwater volcanic mountains. Bali is chosen as the first area to conduct the program. The Indonesian government is setting course to build coral reef gardens in 5 locations across Bali in hopes of conserving and restoring marine ecosystems around the island. And let's see the specific locations in the next graphic. This is the Bali Coral Reef Garden Development. The location, as you can see in the screen, first one is Nusa Dua, and then the second one is Serangan, Pandawa, Buleleng, and Sanur. And these gardens will serve as sites to transplant coral, and officials say that they are working with researchers and academics in order to further develop ICRG. Aside from government's seriousness in improving the marine ecosystem, Minister is optimistic that the Indonesia Coral Reef Garden Program in Bali can be a hero on the economic recovery of coastal communities. As we know, a large number of dive shops, dive operators, and resorts have suffered significant losses since the pandemic began in Indonesia in March. And well, this program is packaged through a labor-intensive concept, and empowers coastal communities on Bali, the islands of gods. And let's see how is the economic effect behind the coral reefs restoration. This is the effect behind Bali Coral Reef Garden. The budget allocation for this program as much as 111.2 billion rupiah, and it will be absorbed as much as 11,300 workers, and this is the part of national economic recovery. We compiled the data from Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries. Ministers ensured that the construction of ICRG would not stop after the program over. On the other hand, this program will be supported by the Indonesia Tourism Development Corporation, as well as a Coral Garden Museum to complement the coral gardens. He hopes that this coral garden will attract more tourist visits and provide hope and encouragement to revive the marine tourism sector in Bali. And as we know that Bali is included as 3 provinces have suffered the biggest contraction aside from Jakarta and Yogyakarta. Bali, whose economy depends largely on the tourism sector, was the hardest hit by the economic impact of the pandemic with a contraction of 10.98%. And let's see the next graphic for further details. This is Bali's economic pressure from January to August 2020. Foreign tourist arrivals dropped by 74.2% compared to last year. And Bali also suffered monthly loss as much as 9 trillion rupiah. And the first quarter of 2020, the economic growth only reached minus 1.14%. And the second quarter of 2020, economic growth dropped by 10%. Through the data, we can assess that the island's economy had been badly hit by the pandemic. Experts estimated that 80% of its economy relied directly or indirectly on tourism and has been on a recession with its gross domestic product declining by 10.98% between April and June, more than twice the national average. The situation, according to Bali's Manpower Agency, has cost the jobs of at least 75,000 workers who had been either laid off or forced to take unpaid leave. Therefore, many people, especially Balinese, put high expectation on government's move to develop a coral reef garden program. And with measurable targets to improve, we hope that soon Bali's coral reefs can boost economic recovery and over its best panoramic view. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.